Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sheriff Hawks Gaming. We're not gaming quite yet. We're still in the talking phrase. Welcome, Stormy Storm 30, Ken, the Redneck Connection, and Adam Frost. Welcome, welcome. Now, I figured today we would talk about my unusual, I didn't put unusual in the title, but it is rather unusual, my history on YouTube. Believe it or not, the first game that I streamed accidentally, and we will get into that, was actually 7 Days to Die. And even 7 Days to Die has a rather unique story behind it. At that time, my wife worked at Walmart. Britt the Care Bear, welcome. $7 million fine for you all. Yeah, if I had $7 million, I'd just stare at it. But anyway, the game itself had a history. My wife was working at Walmart. She seen it in a case, and she figured, well, maybe I'd like the game, so she bought it. Now, when she bought it, I had put it in my PS4 at the time, and it did not play like any of the other games that I was playing. So, welcome, Alexis. I the first channel I believe I ever watched, believe it or not, was Sonic 0731. That's because he was playing another game that I liked. And then I found another channel named Skippy. Now keep in mind, I didn't even have YouTube before that game. The only reason I signed up to YouTube was to find somebody playing this game. I had spent a week walking around. Um, Basically dying. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And Skippy at that time was doing a tutorial. I think I must have watched at least 5 episodes of his tutorial videos. I think he had 10. I think I only watched 5 or 6. Once I got the idea of where stuff was and how you were supposed to do stuff, I basically just quit watching. I kind of wanted to learn as much as I could on my own. So for about another month, I had played it, and I really got hooked on it because the more I learned, the more I discovered I could destroy the entire frickin' world. So then I wanted to play with other people. This is the story of, well, I guess you could call it Hawks Gaming PS4 VR, Hawks Gaming Asylum, um, Mental State Gaming, Hawks Gaming, Life is a Game, not once but twice, and now Sheriff Hawks. But how did I really get started? Well, some of you have heard this story. I was playing 7 Days to Die and decided I wanted a multiplayer. So I went through all the settings. This is on PS4 when it first came out, released to the console. So it would have been, I think at that time, we did get a few updates. So I think it was Alpha 12 or 12.5 when it was released. I'm not really sure. Um, but I couldn't find any other players, and I hit a button on my PlayStation controller that said share. Well, I thought that meant that I was sharing the game, and I would have multiplayer. And I thought so because the screen changed. I thought the chat that popped up, or what appeared to be just a square, there was no one in it, but that's where the other players would show up. So I started running around, and within a couple of minutes, I had a message pop up, and it was from TB, and I didn't know who TB was. I know, that sounds weird. So I asked him where he was in the game. He literally said, "This is your grandson." I thought, okay, but where are you in the game? Because he also had a PS4. And he explained that he wasn't in the game. He was watching me on television. Well, how can you be watching me on television? I'm playing a game. He goes, no, you're on TV. You're on YouTube. Well, what am I doing on YouTube? You're streaming. Now, I don't want to lie to people. I honestly didn't realize what streaming was, even though I had actually watched two streamers, both Sonic and Skippy. Imagine that. Then he suggested, well, why don't you go ahead and stream? I'd watch you. So I did. That was the beginning of YouTube. Now, I don't even remember what year 7 Days to Die was released. Whatever year it was released, that's the year that I began to stream on YouTube. I don't know, can't remember what year it was, to be quite honest. I don't really know at all. Was there issues with streaming? Well, yes, there was. One, I didn't know the rules on YouTube. None at all. So when people would subscribe, I didn't really even know what that meant. And in the beginning, I was lucky if I had one or two people in my chat. I think within 6 months, I had made a few friends, and the chat went up to, like it is now, six. Like looking at the numbers of people that joined me tonight really reminds me of when I literally first got started. You get six people in there, and you think back then it was like, wow, I got six people. I couldn't have been happier. Six people. But before that, it was one, two. If you seen three, it was a modern day miracle. The main game that I streamed was obviously in the beginning was in fact 7 Days to Die. Now we won't get into the history of what happened, but like every other channel in time, I met a bunch of other people, right? Because now I'm not only streaming, I'm watching YouTube. This is where I ran into um, Life is a Game, Jags, at the time, Sibling Revelry, the Redneck Connection. There was a lot of people that I had run into. Uh, Maximus Gaming. There was a war. I'm not going to go, again, I'm not going to go into detail with all that. It happened. Um, it happened and it got bad enough at the end of it. I just erased my channel and I started a new one, a fresh start. Because the reputation I had back then was he is just way too outspoken, too brash, doesn't hold his language back. And I really didn't do any of those things. So I just wanted a fresh start. I got into other games, horror games. I was very well noted for them in the past. That's when I found somebody named Dark Park, December 13th, 2013. Well, this would have been in January, so my YouTube started in 2014. Um, because it wasn't a Christmas gift. She simply bought it because she seen it. It was kind of new. She hadn't seen it before. She didn't know what it was. Fuck, I never heard of it. I didn't see an ad. I didn't see anything. Um, of course, being on council, I guess you wouldn't have seen an ad for that game, considering it was in its early access. I don't know how they got it released for council in early access, but hey, they did, and I got it. And I got addicted to it too, but I got addicted to it because as much as I played other games, I never found another game where I could destroy the earth, the buildings, the trees. It didn't matter what it was. If you hit it with a hammer, you could destroy it. And I thought, well, that's freaking neat. I can change the whole map. So the first time that I really did a series, it was called Building Rome, right? And I built roads and I used creative back then because honestly, I was new enough that I didn't know how long or what you would need to do to gather all these resources to either repair buildings or tear them down. Now, I left the zombies on and I always used the same house, right? Colby, welcome. Always the same house. I only played on Navezgane back then because, quite honestly, I didn't know exactly what everything else was. So I just played on Navezgane. I opened up creative. I brought in blocks, um, a gun, some ammunition, but I made mines. Uh, and it was a house that was behind the creek. Today it would be where in today's Navezgane, it would be that one road with the hill where the condemned house is. Um, I'd have to show you, but I can't show you right now. But that's what it would have been. I always built a wall around it and put bars out, and I'd shoot down at them. So I was fighting the hordes and everything, right? And then finally one day, I literally got a message on my channel in the comments. Now I didn't know them were there. I didn't know what the hell they even were, to be honest with you. Everything always popped up on the screen when you streamed from council. Your chat was kind of off to the right. But I got an email and let me know that somebody had commented, and then back then somebody would, subscribe. And it's like, wow, okay. And what they said was, you're cheating. Try to play it without creative. So I did. And that's where I learned, even in the older version of the game, it took a while before you could start building everything you wanted to build. I mean, you had to do a whole lot of mining and stuff like that, but I did it. Now, back then, I didn't have the zombies run at night. And when I seen people playing with a run, I'm like, God, how are they not dead? Right? Because I wasn't sure. The first time that I played where zombies running was way back, when Dan and Wolf were doing a 24-hour stream. I agreed to go in because I watched and followed that channel for a very long time. And they always played where they ran at night. Now, here's irony for you. When it was my turn to come in, the game just happened to be at night. And I still remember to this day Dan laughing his ass off because I think I died 3 or 4 times trying to get to that base. But they were running, and I was not familiar with zombies running. Well, I thought that was funny, y'all. MD, you ready for tornadoes in the game? Hell yes, I am. I think that's going to be neat, MDK. So that's when I decided, you know what? I'm going to make my zombies run at night. Now, at first, it was a sight to see. Between the horror games I was streaming and dying about every 15 to 20 minutes and 7 days to die, for the first time I had hit 100 subs. I never seen 100 subs. I was shocked. In fact, even excited. Wow, that is neat. But it was fun. I will do that as soon as I can play again, and I am halfway there. Halfway. But hey, we're working on it and we will get there, okay? Found what I'm looking for. I know what I'm going to get. I just have to finish saving to get it. But hey, I'll be back to playing, and hopefully that update will be there when I do. and I will get to run into a tornado. But let's get back to my history on YouTube. So, anyway, during this time, this is when I had deleted my original channel because of a war I had with we'll just say Max. Most people know who that is if you were around back then. I'm not going to get into detail again because I don't think it's necessary, but I wanted a fresh start. So now there was changes to the channel. And I believe that's when I just went to Hawks PS4 Gaming Asylum. And I remember that well because everybody kept saying, wow, that name's too long. And maybe back then it was. Who knows? But that's the name I chose. That's what I went with. And that's the one that actually hit 100. And I actually, Christy, welcome. I actually started getting, like right now. Wow, this is really coinciding with the timeline, huh? A little bit ago I had 6, and that was considered good when I first got started. But then it went up to about 10. And I was new to it because I'm still on PS4. The chat's right there, but it was getting harder to keep up with. Then came the first multiplayers I started doing, and that was with Fus Rodon, Techno, God rest his soul, and Rogue Huntress. So we did a lot of multiplayer. In fact, the very first stream that we ever did was something to do with nurses, and it was Techno's idea. I mean, it was fun. Now, here's something that's going to blow your mind, guys. The second thing we did was a show we called Neighbors. No, that's not where I got the idea for Neighbors, just so everybody knows. But it is exactly what me and Techno and Dawn and Rogue called the series. We were playing Navezgane and each would get our own house, and of course we would mess with each other and stuff. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like the Neighbors that we are currently doing now, which unfortunately I'm temporarily unable to do. But hey, we'll get there, I promise. Just be patient. Now, this is about the time that I met Colby, and he was streaming another game that I had on PS4 that I was getting ready to stream, and it was Skyrim. But Skyrim was different than Oblivion, and I really couldn't figure out like the level up system because it had that ring and you had to get into this and into that, and it was way different than what you would have seen in Oblivion for you guys. I don't know if you guys ever played Oblivion. It was before Skyrim. So I needed to find someone that was playing it. Well, as it turns out, if you make enemies on YouTube, and MAX did, he made other enemies too. And again, we're not going to get into details on all of that. So somewhere down the line, I had decided, you know what, I'm just going to start over again. And I did. So that's when it went to Hawks PS4 VR gaming. And still, I had put Asylum on it. I dropped the Asylum later because, again, I got told the same thing. Hey, that name's too long. So, I kind of dropped it. You know what I mean? Made it a little shorter, and I started doing VR horror games. And my favorite was Resident Evil 7. Oh, what a game. Died a few times, about jumped out my chair a few times. It was crazy, but I loved it. The Jags at the time had got me a game. I think you were in space, and that one was another one. Kind of got you, made me jump a few times, and I definitely died a few times. But VR turned out to be fun. And then I got Skyrim VR. Oh my God, what a masterpiece that was. That world was beautiful in VR. But the views started dropping. I guess some people didn't care for VR. Then I started over again. I didn't rename it, but that was an accident. This is how dumb a person that don't know what they're doing is doing, because at this time I managed to also get my first PC. Why? 7 Days to Die. A lot of people know this story too, but it's actually what happened. I was so angry that I couldn't get an update, and at that time I was really watching Neebs Gaming a lot. And they had started a series, 7 Days to Die Alpha 16 Cinematic Playthrough. And I was looking at back then what would have been the new stuff in 7 Days to Die. And that's also about the same time they announced that there wasn't going to be any updates for Council. I was bound and determined that I'm getting a computer. I'm going to get that game, but I didn't know how. So I had to have people tell me what Steam was. So I got Steam. Then I found the game I bought. That was the first game I bought immediately, 7 Days to Die. Now, at the same time, I bought, me and my wife both got a computer. Same time. And I also bought her 7 Days to Die. So we could play the new version. Now, keep in mind, that took a while. By the time we actually got the PCs up and running and you got Steam and you got the game, they were at the end of Alpha 6 or Alpha 17 and I didn't even know it. Had no clue. I think I got to play Alpha 17 for maybe about a month. And lo and behold, Alpha 18 dropped. I was happy on one side, but not happy on the other. My wife did what I didn't do. When she first got the game, she went back to Alpha 16. Not me. I wanted to see the new shit. What's in there? What does it do? And oh my God, did I die all the time. You just realized his bot ain't running tonight. I don't know why it ain't running. It should be, but I don't see anything on there. I apologize, guys. I don't know why it ain't running. Maybe it turned itself off. I don't know. Let's see if I can turn it on. Maybe. Let's see. CloudBot. Let's see if I can. Well, CloudBot. Are you going to turn? Oh, well, your screen's going to go black a second. Hang on. Hold on. Says Chrome was updated. Let's see. YouTube active. Well, let's just turn that. Huh? Back on. Oh, no, no. Get back on. Thank you. I don't know what else is there, but I don't know. There it goes. Whatever I did, that activated it. Now it is running. I'm glad you noticed that because honestly, I didn't. So now I'm trying to stream on computer, but my internet was crap, and quite frankly, without knowing it at the time, my computer was crap. Plus, I didn't know how to set up OBS. So Dan spent, oh shit, 2 or 3 hours teaching me how to set up OBS. And the first time I streamed on computer, it had to be the choppiest, ugliest, nastiest stream you could have possibly seen, y'all. It was horrible. So we lowered the settings, and there we go. We were able to stream, and it was watchable, but again, not great. But I was happy because I actually got to play the newer version of 7 Days to Die. But that's where mental state gaming came into play. And it had nothing to do with starting over. It had to do with I hit the wrong button and accidentally deleted my whole channel. Because I really didn't know computers. I thought I was deleting videos. Not what I was doing. No. What happened to me was I hit the wrong button and I had selected, I think, 10 videos. So when it took a while to delete it, I didn't think anything of it. And then my channel was gone. Like, oh crap. I deleted the whole thing. So I started over yet again. Mental State Gaming. Now, in between that time, I did join Dan for the first time. Back then, it was Dan and Wolf. Um, Creative differences got involved, and I left. And then I went back, and then there you go. Mental State Gaming was there. Uh, Started streaming, started playing again. No problem, right? Dan, I think he was working a lot. I don't know exactly why he wasn't streaming, but that's where me joining Life as a Game for a second time came in. I had been following him since I got on YouTube within a month or two of being on it, and I didn't want to see his channel die. One, I knew that him and Wolf built Life as a Game, and they built it on a PS4, which is impressive as hell. And I didn't want to see that happen, so I volunteered. Let me stream on your channel. Don't kill the channel, because most people don't realize how much work and time it takes to grow or build a channel. And I know this because shit, I'm still not growing. Okay. Speaking of which, if you guys could hit that like button to share the video out, stay in here so I get views. I'm trying to protect my, what do you call that, watch hours, because I'm afraid if I don't put something up here, hey, I'm going to lose them. You know what I mean? Streamlabs give Christy a shot. It didn't give her a shot? I don't know. Shit. But I see Streamlabs did pop up, but I don't see it popping up anymore. So I don't know why it's not working. Guess it don't want to work. It should have more messages than that, but I don't see them. So I don't really know. Maybe it just don't like me. I'm not directly sure, but something, right? So I joined him again. And, well, for the most part, I guess I tried to play a few other games, but then it's just a 7 Days to Die channel. So we did 7 Days to Die a lot. We did the Alcy mod. Um, we did. I got him to do Darkness Falls for a little bit. I don't know why we didn't ever continue that one. It was kind of funny. Um, we did a lot of challenges back and forth. And I'm not really good at challenges because I never take them all that serious. Maybe I should. I don't know, but I just didn't, right? Oh well, I'll give her 2 drinks next time. I'll turn it back on again. I don't know why it's not staying on. There's got to be something wrong with it somewhere, but I don't know exactly what that could be. Says YouTube active, custom name with something about custom name with Ultra. That I didn't do. All right, let's go over here. You're gonna be a black screen. Well, now it ain't wanting to turn on. There it goes. Now it turned on. Polls, battling, giveaways, settings. I don't know what all this stuff is, right? Um, so I don't know what's turned on. And there's my. All right, they're all there, right? I don't. Dave Wolfie, welcome. I don't see anything here. Wow. Um, hmm. Betting, polls, store, loyalty, queue. I don't know what's in queue. You don't have any pin. Well, I don't have anything in queues. I don't have quotes, timers. They're all on. Uh-huh. So let's try that. Maybe I don't really know what the hell's going on with this. Um, Something, but I don't know what. Let's get back to where you guys are not black screen because you can't see that. And I do apologize. So again, creative differences popped up, and now I I came back. And when I came back, it was uh, Mental State Gaming still. It was not a fully developed channel. But in the 3 years that I was over at Life as a Game, I had developed a character, Sheriff Hawks. So now, before, when I was Michael B. Mental or Mental State Gaming, everybody only knew me as Sheriff Hawks. So I basically just revamped Mental State Gaming, turned it into Sheriff Hawks Gaming, redid the image because I mean that's I didn't want to take the image that was on another channel and but then put it on yet another channel. That didn't seem right to me, so I just updated the image and had a lot of help along the way too. There's been a lot of people that have helped out with the birth of Sheriff Hawks Gaming. Now I did get told, hey, revamping an old channel's a bad idea, Sheriff, but I did it anyway. And then it was just revamped completely. And now here we are uh, at 435 subscribers. We started out with 145. So in a year's time, we made it from 145 to 3, oh shit, 330, 435? 435. Yeah, I think it's 435. Not sure, but I think that's what it is. In the course of playing on computer, my computer has been updated 3 different times. First, I went from i5 to i7, and I remember that upgrade because it was expensive as hell. Motherboard and processor. I think I had a 3 core, and then for the first time, I now had a 4 core. Um, I ended up with a AMD 570, 436. Okay, well, I gained one. Okay, 436. Thank you, Ken. So then I went, somebody had sent me a Ryzen motherboard. I had always heard that Ryzen was better for streaming. Now, I'm not an expert on these things, guys. I'm not. But when you talk to other streamers, and most streamers are all Ryzen. Now, me, hell, I was Intel. So I was happy to see Ryzen. So I put it in there, and of course, that meant lose a lot of things. And I did. I had to basically re-download, everything on the computer, and I had to move Windows and all of that, right? Um, and then somebody had mailed me an AMD 6600 graphics card, which is obviously bigger than a AMD 570. So I thought, okay, all right, we're moving on up. Of course, you can still only stream at 1080, right? So, but I was still happy. You could see the stream. Looked good, or at least to me it did. And then for Christmas, there was another upgrade from Ryzen, whatever that was, 5 or 6 or 7, whatever the hell. I think it was 5, to Ryzen 9, right? So now I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be a lot faster. And I upgraded to with an M.2. Now, I had never had one before. I don't know why I didn't. But if I'm going to be honest with y'all, it's because I had no clue what the hell one of them damn things was. So we'll put that in there and wiping the computer, which I thought was going to be a disaster. I ain't going to lie. It wasn't. It ended up being the best thing I think I ever did. I got rid of a bunch of crap on there that the operator put on it. That'd be me. It wasn't someone else. It was, not being a computer guy, I'd see something, download that, and hell, I made that mistake twice, right? I had more shit on my computer than I ever needed there in the first place. I didn't have ample memory, so there was another problem. And I almost lost my Discord because I hit a link. So if you have Discord, don't touch no links. Okay, don't do it. If somebody says, "Hey, I built this game, check it out," unless you know them and you know it's them, don't touch the link. I was able to save my Discord, which was also renamed. It was renamed Seraph Hawk. So there was a lot of help with that. DJ Odyssey and a few other people came in and they helped. And I think it was Rat Pack came in and he helped. So the Discord got built, reshaped, everything, and at the same time I was redoing the channel and everything, and the channel still ain't even done. It's still got some upgrading that it desperately needs. But we're at a slowdown at the present moment, and we'll get back to that shortly. Don't go quiet on me, chat. See, you guys do that to me, and when I'm playing a game, right? Then it's you're not reading the chat. Now that I can read the chat, now everybody's quiet. Oh, that's just wrong, y'all. But we're going to take our first bathroom break. Don't time it. I'll be back shortly. Okay, well, I'm glad nobody timed that, or I hope y'all didn't time it. For anybody still in here, because my numbers keep now I'm back down to 6. I know I'm not a talk channel, which is probably why people ain't staying. Everybody's just used to watching me play and then make fun of my gameplay. This is a little different because I can't do anything else, but I gotta have something up here. So I figured I'd come in and talk to y'all. Because what else am I gonna do? But you guys ain't talking back. I guess if you ain't gonna talk back, I'll just end the stream, I guess. I don't know what else to do here. Refresh refresh the chat, but yeah, we'll wait a little bit, I guess. But we might just go ahead and call it. If you guys ain't gonna talk back, then there ain't no sense in me being on here. I don't even know who all's still here. Well, if you're still here, just type here or put a 1 in there. If you can hear me and you're still in here, let me know you're still here. Or you just got it open so it counts as a view. You're here. You didn't realize how many times. Yeah, I did a couple of times. Well, one, Colby, was over the whole war with Max. I just felt that was a fresh start. Um, I changed the channel name a couple of times. The second time I totally restarted. Um, that was an accident. That was just a guy on a computer that instead of deleting videos, deleted the entire channel. And I was in a panic. I really didn't know what to do. Because back then I was using OBS, and as you know, you start a new channel, you You go through all your OBS, but you can't stream for 24 hours. And I was like, oh no, now what? What do I do now? I didn't really know what I was supposed to do. I was so angry. I'm like, how do I get it back? How do I get it back? How do I get it back? Now I could have went to the trash bin and probably got it back, but I didn't know that then, so I didn't get it back. That's where mental state gaming came from. Now, mental state, and this is what I'm afraid of. When I left mental state and I joined Life as a Game, it had, before I left, almost 400 subscribers. Now, I get it because I left it, I wasn't streaming over there anymore. It went from where it was all the way down to 145. And that's what scares me about this channel is because when I revamped it and renamed it, right, and totally redesigned the entire thing, it went from 145 to, what'd they say, 436. And now I'm afraid if I don't put stuff up here, it's just going to do the same thing again, and then I'm right back to square one. And I ain't liking square one very much. Uh, One, because I'm just getting too old for square one anymore. I'm not in my late 40s. I am 59 years old. So starting all the way over doesn't seem like something that I would want to do. And I'm already having problems because now my Streamlabs is not working. It ain't doing anything. So I don't know why. But it's not doing a damn thing. Now, I'm going to be anonymous with the person helping me with the graphics card. And I thought about this, because I am one of those people that bounce back and forth. Because there's things about different cards that you learn as you go. And the only card I've ever owned in my life has always been AMD. And before that, I didn't know what the hell a graphics card even was because I was a console player. How the hell would I know what a graphics card is? But now I'm kind of excited. The card I'm getting is a GeForce, which is NVIDIA. I'm kind of excited because I've never had one. So it's got to be different, right? And then you got G-Sync. And at first I had mixed emotions, you know what I mean? I think even just yesterday when I was on with Ken, I was kind of wondering, like, how come one has this and the other one don't? But then, like this morning before I went to bed, I'm sitting there thinking, well, maybe they do that because they're higher quality or something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's because they want there's something in that card that you have to use for the other because it works better or does more, right? So I did a comparison because that's what Google's for, look up information. So I compared that card to the card I have, and holy shit, it's way stronger. I thought, oh. And then I talked to Jags the other night, and he was telling me that G syncing ain't that hard. And I don't know, maybe it ain't. If he says it ain't, I believe him. Mainly because Jags has never lied to me about anything that I'm aware of. So usually, if he tells me something, that's pretty accurate. So now I'm excited. The only concern I had, and I guess what aggravates me, is me in my old age and my lack of knowledge of computers never really updated. I updated the computer, but never the monitors. Now why, I don't know, because monitors they don't like really cost as much as your PC parts do. I guess because it never came to my mind. They work, so I never bothered with it. Man, talk about regret, y'all. There's one regret I got. Why in the hell in all this time did I not just look at my monitors? You know what I mean? Why didn't I do that? So apparently I have been on YouTube off and on since 2014. How is that? I didn't know it's been that long. So that would be 10, 11 years now. Holy crap. Or 12. Well, working on 12. I'm still here. If you're still here, say hi. This is when y'all leave, I'm just going to end the stream. I don't want to talk to myself. I want to talk to all of you. Hmm. Well, I don't see anybody chatting in there. Okay, Christy says, well, no, she said hello. Brett the Care Bear said hi. Ken said hello. And I do apologize. There is some gambling in my Streamlabs, but whatever the fucking reason, Streamlabs ain't working. Alexis says hi. I think what I find disturbing enough, I've been on there for that long. How come I've never been monetized? That really tells me I must be doing something wrong. Now, problem is I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong. Because here's the truth, guys. It's YouTube. I am not a professional YouTuber. I don't know how to get the number to go from where it is to, it used to be 1,000. Now it's 500. But I don't know how to get to 500. Christy says hello. Well, I'm glad y'all are still here, but talk back. Shit, ask me questions. Do something because I'm not playing a game. I'm actually keeping up with chat because I got nothing else to do. I can't make any jokes in my Streamlabs because it don't want to work. And I don't know why. I turned it off and back on again, but you know what? It's still, maybe it's because I'm streaming. I don't know. I'll turn cloud. You're going to go black again. I'm going to turn my CloudBot back on and see if I can do that again. Maybe it'll activate CloudBot. Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it wants to fucking do anything. All right. Just activated it again. Let's go through some of these things. Hmm. I don't know. Well, I did that. Now I got to go back somehow. What the shit? Alert box. Let's go there. Enabled. Yes, that says enabled. Background color, whatever. I don't understand. Theme. No, it's. I guess that's right. I don't know. I don't know what the hell you do with that. Uh, well, I don't know how the hell that works. Function for it looks like all that stuff is gone. Yeah, it's gone. So I don't know where all that went or why it went, but it ain't there. None of it's there. Huh. Unless you're posting clickbait, thirst traps, or AI shorts, unfortunately. Uh, well, there's got to be a secret to it somewhere. But I don't know what the hell that would be. All my stuff's gone, you guys. I don't know where it is, but somewhere. But I don't know where the hell it is. I don't know. Don't know why it wouldn't be there. Doesn't appear to be there. Uh, I don't know. Betting? What's that? It is open for a title, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the hell all that is. I don't want to mess with that because I don't know what the fuck it is. Oh, let's just close that down and get you guys off black screen. Anyway, I don't know what's going on with my bot. So something. Let's get rid of this junk mail I keep getting. Let's just select all. Yeah, there we go. Other than the ones that it won't let me select all. Can't make any sense out of that. Uh, I don't know. I don't really want to do clickbait, and I don't know a lot about AI shorts. I don't even know how to do them. Yeah, you can hit that. Now I'm seeing the crowns pop up. I don't. Well, that's a YouTube thing, though. That's not. That has nothing to do with my Streamlabs. My Streamlabs is. I don't even know why it's screwed. I can't make any sense out of that. It was just working the other night. Now suddenly it don't want to work. I don't think that command's going to work there, Ken. Nothing else seems to be working. So I don't know. You know. But what's a thirst? Well, a thirst trap. I guess that's if you're a girl or a guy and you want people to like your looks. I don't know what clickbait is. Oh, I guess clickbait. That's where you lie and you make it sound like it's something, but it's not what it is. But wouldn't you lose people that way though? Because you clicked on it, right? Eventually, you would know it's clickbait. It's not what they said it is. I think you'd lose people doing that, not grow. So, to the audience, how long have you guys been watching or streaming on YouTube? Well, what do you guys? How long have you guys been watching YouTube? A year, 5 years, long? Well, some of you I know longer, at least a year for sure, and even before that, because a lot of you used to. I'd see you over in Life as a Game too, and some of you I seen even before in Mental State Gaming, and some of you even in my older channels. But how long have you guys been watching YouTube? Anybody? Uh, May of 2013. You are about a year older than I am on YouTube, Ken. I know a lot of you don't stream, but if you don't stream, how long have you been watching YouTube? Let's see, 7 years or so now. So I know you don't stream, so for you, that's definitely watching YouTube. Does anybody remember the first channel that they watched on YouTube? Anybody remember the first? I remember my first three. I do. Sonic, Skippy, Jags. I can't remember the rest of them in order. Games for Kicks was the first YouTuber. Okay. I think I'm actually subscribed to that channel too. How I found out about 7 Days to Die. Actually, that's not how I found out. 7 Days to Die is why I went on YouTube. Because Mrs. Hawks had bought it for me. I didn't know how to play it, and somebody said, go on YouTube, and people play it on there. Type in 7 Days to Die, and you'll find videos. I did. And that is literally how I learned how to play 7 Days to Die, because you got to keep in mind that Seven Days to Die, even now, does not play like most video games do. Um, as far as your like how to build and where you get your stuff. Now a lot of them do now, but back then they didn't. At least not the games I was playing. Hell, I was confused whenever Skyrim came out. The whole level up system just blew my mind. I didn't know what to put where, what skill to get into. Hell, I didn't know any of that. But I did get addicted to 7 Days to Die. How many of you in this chat got addicted to either watching or playing 7 Days to Die? If you did, say yes, and if you didn't, well, just say no. How many of you got addicted to either watching or playing 7 Days to Die on YouTube? Nobody? I did. I got addicted to both watching it and playing it. To this day, I still watch Neebs, Glock 9, man, quite a few other. Oki, I watch him whenever he plays. You two, both, you got addicted to playing and watching. Nobody else in there want to give a hint nor a clue? Man, you guys are awful quiet. That's not good for a talk show. What's up, Oki? Welcome. I just mentioned you. So the question was, how many of you got addicted to either playing or watching 7 Days to Die on YouTube? Now, we only got one answer, and that was from Britt the Care Bear. I got a question for you, Britt. Does your Care Bear by chance have horns? I just kind of want to know, you know? It's considering I can't remember the names of the Care Bears, but they all seem to be kind of nice. But you got that ornery personality, you know? I think if there was a Care Bear made for you, right, it would be different. And okay, I apologize. My Streamlabs, whatever its reason, is not functioning. It's not doing anything. So, oh, it does have horns. There it is. Okay, I knew it. I knew it. But we're gonna go ahead and I guess call it here. This chat's too quiet for me. I like it better when y'all talk back and ask questions or something. How do we classify addicted? I'm not saying addicted like a drug. I'm saying that you enjoy watching it, and obviously you did, right? Like if you see somebody playing 7 Days to Die, do you click on it or do you move away from it? To me, it depends on who it is. Um, sometimes I like watching people build, like that castle you built. I think is awesome. Sometimes I like watching people play because everybody plays it different, and that's what I like. I love watching Jags play. I hope he does it again sometime soon. You got addicted to watching. Well, you'll be able to watch me soon again, I hope. I'm working on it. But thank you. I appreciate that, Ken. Um, but yeah, I guess we're going to call it this. This chat's too quiet. I feel like I'm up here talking to myself. Nope. I hate 7 Days to Die. That's why oh, whatever, Okie. You can't hate it because I know you play it. I feel like I just got started on YouTube, people. I'm down to 6 people here. Well, that lets me know I'm not interesting as a talk show host, huh? Maybe if I was to talk about something more controversial, you know? You'd say you're more for the streamer, not the game. Yeah, I suppose. But I'm kind of both. I think I'm that way again because I haven't found another game that plays like 7 Days to Die. I ain't saying there ain't one, but if there is one, I ain't found it. And the closest thing I found so far is Vane, but I don't know that you can destroy the world around you. I mean, not the whole world. You know what I mean? When he's 7 Days to Die, I could just dig up the whole earth if I really wanted to. It'd be a boring stream if you were just digging everywhere, but uh, the fact is, in that game, you actually can. So, maybe if we could scare, there would be more people here. I don't know why my Streamlabs ain't working, Okie. It's not. It's not even giving commands. It's on, but it ain't working, and I don't know why. It was working the other day. Now it's not. I've went and turned it on not once but twice, but now I can't find my I can't find anything in here. It seems like it's all gone. So I don't know. So yeah, I have no clue. Can't figure it out. It's something, you know. I can go to my alert box is set, but I don't know why it wouldn't be there. Let's go to my settings. Looking for an old alert box setting. Click here. Okay, well, I'll click here. Moderator tools, sources, blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah. I don't know what any of that means. So, I guess. I don't fucking know. But anyway, I have no fucking idea. Conan and Valheim are good too. I like Conan. I haven't been able to play that in a while, but I do like it. What? Oh, yeah, I've seen that. That's pretty. Anyone notice Hawk says he wants to end just as I enter the stream? Well, no, it's not because you entered. It's because there's hardly nobody talking. But I get leery on talking about controversial subjects. Is one thing I've learned about YouTube is nobody knows how to get along anymore. Everybody's got their opinion. They stick to it. They're not open to other suggestions. You either hate this or you love that. And see, I'm old school and I don't believe in any of that. I just don't. I come from a day and age where even if you disagreed, you were still friends and you still talked. But in today's day and age, it's, oh, you're this and you're that, and you just can't do that anymore. Did you see what I typed up, Sheriff? Let me take a look, Britt. Conan and Balham are good. Let's see, I read that one, and I seen your Care Bear, and you put your new tattoo on my Discord. I'll go in there and look. Yes, Okie, $500 fine for you. Even if he was willing to pay a $500 fine, he can't pay a $500 fine. Streamlabs ain't working. I have no games. I have no hit the like button. I don't have any new subscriber line. I don't have a tip line. I don't have anything on here. Uh, quite frankly, I don't have jack shit on here. So, and I do not know why. So, I don't know how you're supposed to fix that, but apparently, um, I don't know. Maybe if I go to alert box, right, and then you block it and then turn it back on, maybe hide or unhide. I don't know. I only know it's not functioning. But when you if I go to CloudBot, it just literally says it's activated, right? That's what it says. Well, now it's not, so I can't make any sense out of that. YouTube active. I don't know. No, I'll be ready to play once you get ready, because after tomorrow I'll be good. Well, God bless him, Brett, and your family. See, it keeps turning itself off. I don't know why it's doing that. So it's going to be black for a minute. I want to see how long it takes it to turn itself off. It literally just turned itself off on me. So, I hadn't closed it yet, but it's off. So I don't know, you know? Don't forget Streamlabs by going to your YouTube studio settings, community, and adding Streamlabs as a moderator. Well, I thought I already did, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. So now it says it's on, but I don't see anything from here. I don't see nothing. So, um, I don't know. Hell, I even have uptime. I didn't know I had that. Wow. Well, I'm waiting to see if it turns itself off again. Um, I don't know. I'm just going to close it because it ain't doing anything anyway. Doesn't seem to matter what I'm doing. It ain't working. I'll check it again in a minute, but so far doesn't look like it's going to work. Why? I don't know. I don't know where anything and everything went. I just know it's not there. That's what I know. Well, now we're down to 5 people. All right, well, that's it. I didn't figure I was that interesting. Anyway, thanks for coming in. I don't think it's going to give it to you, Ken. Check it again, but I'll bet it turned itself off. It just turned itself off right in front of my face, and like automatically, it just moved off. So, no, it still says on, but and nothing's working. So, I don't know how that works. If you go to commands, um, they all apparently they seem to be on, but let's go to next. Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh huh. Yeah, nothing. Nothing at all. It's still on, not doing anything, no messages. Anyway, guys, I can't be that interested. We keep going up and down, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. Thank you guys for coming in. Hit that like button, share the video out. I'll be in my Discord if anybody wants to pop in and say hello. But that's where I'll be for a little bit. Well, if you need something to watch in a couple hours, Hawks, if it'll let me, I'm going to work on my computer some, try to figure out where all my stuff went. And I don't know where it is. I don't even know why it's gone. But we're going to call it. I'm out of here. Thank you guys for coming in, the ones of you that did. Don't forget to hit the like button, share the video out. Tell your friends I'm still trying to get to 500. Maybe we get there, maybe we don't. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Good night.